Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 97 of the Run in the Paint podcast. I'm Miles here with Nick, Joey, and Jackson. Guys, how are you doing today?
Feeling good, feeling great.
Oh, I've been waiting to hear that.
Oh, yes, we have. Welcome back, Joey.
It feels like I haven't been on forever, but I am so happy to be back with a fresh new cut.
Unrecognizable.
Fresh new gear. I know. Oh,
Who's this new guy we got
NBA.
here?
I know. Who is this new guy we got here? This is crazy.
I'm kind of I don't know. He looks really smart and has some really good NBA takes, I've heard.
Oh, well, let's get into it, man. We've got a lot to go over today, as a lot of crazy things have happened this week, both on and off the court. But first, back with PERTL, just like every single episode. Joey, since it's your first one back, you give us a player to guess for the first one.
Oh, that's a good one. I'm gonna guess Malik Monk from my glorious Sacramento Kings.
Malik Monk from the Glory Kings.
Terrible guess. My bad.
Maybe if you picked a player that was on an above 500 team, it would have worked. But
possibly.
Well, they won 4 in a row. Shout out Mike Brown.
Yeah.
That's maybe a forward guard, maybe a guard forward. I don't really know.
That's in the Eastern Conference. Anything, but that's 27 or 28 years old.
All right, give me a minute. I gotta look up.
Give me a minute. We are live.
If we somehow got this in 2, this would be the craziest.
No, I'm going to watch and learn.
Let him cook, guys. Let him cook.
For
real. I'm feeling.
You feeling you got this?
Feeling great.
If Jackson's cooking, I'm leaving the kitchen.
If Godwin is cooking, I'm door dashing. Right
Hey, Jaylen Brown.
Wait.
Yeah, it could be like 100 guys. Let's just go with Jaylen Brown.
We gotta guess one. We gotta guess one.
Okay, yeah, my guy doesn't work. Do Jaylen Brown.
Jaylen Brown. Look at that. 8 or 9.
But it was a great guess, man. Darn it.
Dang, that is a really good guess.
He's 27.
I realized he was number. He would have been perfect, except he's 6'5". What an idiot.
In the Atlantic.
Okay.
And he's not on Boston.
27 years old. New York Knick, 8 years. Oh, is this OG Anunoby?
What number does he wear?
8.
Yeah.
I think this is OG.
Well, then
he would only. No, I guess this has to be a guard / forward. Would OG count?
There's only one way to find out, and that's.
Let's try it out. OG, yeah.
Dang, that was pretty good, Miles.
Why does nobody ever smile in their picture? It's starting to make me mad, man.
Miles carried with Jaylen Brown and OG. He carried.
Yeah, well, I was looking up other people.
OG.
It's a team sport. It's fine that Miles carried. Doesn't mean you didn't do well.
True.
It's just like normal basketball. There's been a lot of great team basketball around the league. No better example than this first team that we have to talk about, the Oklahoma City Thunder. They had a great weekend. They've had an amazing season, first of all. They've been so good. It's really gone under the radar, at least on this podcast, because there's been so other crazy storylines to talk about. But we've got to talk about the Thunder. 30-5 on the season. They've won their last 15 games. And going back to last Friday, they started the first of a 4 or 5 game bloodbath against the top teams in the Eastern Conference. First up, they played the New York Knicks on Friday, who came into that game on like a 9-game winning streak. And after trailing, through the first 2-3 quarters, absolutely dominated the fourth quarter, outscored the Knicks 37-19, won that game. Then they followed that up on Sunday afternoon against Boston and basically did the same thing. They held the Celtics, the Boston Celtics, defending champions, to 27 points on 20% shooting in the second half of play. This defense has been ridiculous, and I mean, now they're 30-5 on the season after these back-to-back crazy wins. Where do you guys want to start with the Thunder? We want to go back to Nick, you get us started.
What you just laid out is scary. They just held the defending champs to 27 points in the second half. Jeez. Where I'd like to start is the fact that they haven't been healthy all year. They have not been 100%, and they're 30-5. I think there's something like 19-1 when either Hartenstein or Chet is on the court. When they have a 7-footer, they're 19-1. 30-5 is incredible when your team hasn't been healthy.
Wait till they get Chet back. It's going to be absolutely nuts. I was looking at the stats because I was working yesterday, so I didn't really get to catch the whole game. But Hartenstein defensively was fantastic. Like when Chet comes back, they're just going to be able to switch them in and out. Like they're an incredible defensive team now. Just wait until they get both those guys. Everybody help. I don't know if anybody's going to be able to score on them.
Yeah, on that Sunday game against Boston, who, it's usually when you get a game with the Boston Celtics, and we've seen this over the past couple seasons, if they lose a game, it's usually because they're just missing open shots that they usually make most of the time. We saw that in the playoffs. The games that they lost, it was because that they just weren't making their shots that they normally made. In this game against Oklahoma City, it was the Thunder defense that was forcing the Celtics to miss all these shots. The Thunder trailed by like 13, 15 points, I believe, in the first half of that game. It wasn't the best start that they had. And a big reason was because the Celtics were starting to get points in the paint. They were taking advantage of Porzingis, Horford, Cornette, Keita, the bigs that they have. And they were just getting easy paint points and layups. In the second half, the Thunder basically cut everything off, forcing turnovers, bad shots. And then on the offensive end, you've got probably the MVP frontrunner, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, making shots on the offensive end.
What about, I want to shout out Wiggins. Wiggins has been fantastic these last couple games. And especially, I want to put, at least what I saw from yesterday or Sunday against the Celtics. Dude, he is so incredible, gives this whole bench just an incredible lift, knocks down open shots, can pass the ball, plays great defense. Cason Wallace has been playing great. Isaiah Joe's been knocking shots down. Lou Dort's been fantastic. It's all these role guys that, not SGA, even though shout out SGA, who had, 33 points in that game? Nothing to take away from him, but all these other guys, they're not – everyone else is doubling SGA, J-Dub, and all these – and their stars, and all the other guys are just wide open and doing their job, knocking down the shots.
And Aaron Wiggins, he was great in the Celtic game, had 15 points in 19 minutes on Sunday, coming off of the Friday Knicks game where he had 15 in the fourth quarter alone. He was really the star of the fourth quarter in the Knicks game, probably the biggest reason that they took over the game in that one.
Yeah, just go back to this Boston game, though. They had everybody healthy. Boston was fully loaded going out, and just throw a couple of defensive stats at you guys, because the Celtics were not great against Shai and Cason Wallace. Combined 1 for 18 against those two defenders.
Cool.
on what, Sunday?
Yeah.
That's
interestingly, actually, Hartenstein was. He gave up 5. They shot 5 of 10 on 3 when he was the defender. So that was the big point of attack that they should have been looking to get him matched up on.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Isaiah Hartenstein is probably the weak link defensively, if you want to call it that. But he's got so much size. Had 3 blocks, 2 steals in this game. Anyway, I mean, the Thunder, they're ridiculous. They play great defenders the entire game. Their role players are capable of knocking shots down. And if on some nights they don't have it going from the outside, their defense is so great that the other team is also not going to have it going. So it doesn't even matter if they're having a cold night.
One of the other things about the Thunder, sorry, Jackson, just real quick. We talked about how they're not fully healthy. This team is very deep, 13, 14 deep. I've heard them described as by the media and other podcasters. And a big thing in this game that I heard people talk about was the second unit and the depth for the Thunder. The Thunder only played 9 guys. I guess the argument for Boston would be this team's built for the playoffs. They're gonna shorten the rotation in the playoffs, and those guys will be able to maybe be in better shape and like stay on the court longer. But the Thunder only played 9 guys, like is my point. So
that's a playoff rotation right there.
Yeah.
Well, they also were missing Caruso in this game. Obviously, Chet has been out. And then their second-round pick rookie, A.J. Mitchell, has been huge for them in the rotation. He was out in this game as well. But when healthy, they've got a legit 12-man rotation, or not rotation, but 12 playable guys that Mark Daigneault is comfortable throwing out there. And that's the great thing about these important games like this, is even when your guys are healthy, Mark Daigneault can throw in a Jay Will or Kenrich Williams or guys deeper in the lineup, but get this important experience during the regular season so that when the playoffs come around, he knows that he can trust those role players. We've seen it for years with some of the great teams that they get their 13th, 14th guys some minutes in big games during the regular season so that it's not a whole new thing when the playoffs come around, when it is the biggest games.
Just to provide a little bit of added context to that Hartenstein stat I threw out where they hit 5 out of 10 threes on him, Porzingis in this game was minus 17, which was glaring, and the Thunder were 6 for 6 on threes that he defended.
Drew Holiday, I saw his stats. He did not shoot the ball. I know he's the defender and like the cat, like he's running the point and all that, but if they want a shot, like, and yeah, he's going to pick it up during the playoffs. They're a team built for the playoffs, but they really need him to score. They really need him to knock his shots down. They need him to get his shot. He needs to be a little more aggressive because if he doesn't, and you only have Tatum and Brown going off, you're going to have a kind of game like this again. And you, especially with how the Cavs are playing, the Knicks have been playing, the Bucks have been finding it again. Like, this is going to – it might be tough in the playoffs for Celtics. A lot tougher than last year, we'll find out.
Well, the Knicks piece and the depth piece that I guess both you guys were kind of talking about, in that Knicks game, and this is something that we've seen in a lot of Knicks games recently that they've lost, is that Tom Thibodeau is playing all of his starters over 40 minutes in these games. And, the Knicks Thunder game on Friday is a clear example. The Knicks played a great first 3 quarters. Then they got outscored by 18 in the fourth quarter because Tibbs ran his starters still the whole quarter. He didn't give them any rest.
Yeah.
And things like that, it's just going to be difficult.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. I mean, I don't know why. Obviously, it's how Tibbs runs, but it's kind of stupid. But yeah, I mean, you guys basically nailed everything on the head. I didn't really talk throughout that because I didn't really need to, but yeah, I think looking at OKC, you guys talked all about this defense, and I mean, they're literally missing their best defensive player, their defensive player of the year caliber, big man down low. And I'm just like, obviously, you guys are all Cavs fans, but like, I mean, I like the Cavs too, but I'd be worried as a Cavs fan because this team matches up so well to the Cavs. I mean, their starting lineup when Chet comes back, it'll probably be like Shea, Dort, Jay Will, Chet, and then Hartenstein. And your shortest guy in there is Dort, and he's like what 6'4", 6'5".
Yeah, and he's built like a tank. He's built. Yeah,
I mean, if I'm a fan of any other team, I mean, I'm terrified right now because they got switchable guys 1 through probably 4 or 5. I mean, I feel like Hartenstein could probably switch a little bit. You obviously don't want him to be the primary like switch person, but yeah, I think this team is just talk about built for the playoffs. This team is built for the playoffs.
This is why I was saying the whole beginning of the year predicting it, and I'll continue it. And now we're in January of 2025, and I'll keep with the same story. The Oklahoma City Thunder are the most complete team in basketball, and it's not even close.
That's why you had him as your 2 seed, right?
Poor
big Minnesota, right?
Poor Minnesota Timberwolves, man. Oh, no, this whole thing, this can lead into previewing Wednesday night because mention the battles that are the tests that the Thunder have had to face. The Knicks on Friday, Celtics on Sunday. Now they play the team that does have the best record in the NBA. We've got the 2 best teams in the league facing off, the Thunder and the Cavaliers on Wednesday night. They flexed it onto ESPN. And, man, Yeah. First of all,
I was going to say, wait, they put it on national television? Oh my gosh.
First of all, NBA, the fact that the Thunder and Celtics game on Sunday was on NBA TV, and before that it was on League Pass. The fact that that wasn't a marquee game is just horrible, and I do not understand it. It makes no sense.
What was the national game for that night?
What?
Well, it wasn't even a night game. It was at 3:30, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was at 3:30. There were no other games. That was the only game.
NBA, I wonder why our ratings are down. NBA, let's put the two of the best teams in the league on NBA TV.
Yeah, but anyways, this Thunder Cavs game, I mean, percentage-wise, these two teams are combined 61-9, 87% winning percentage, which makes this the second best regular season matchup in league history, going back to 2016 when the Spurs and Warriors were both gangbusters that season, faced off in January. But looking at these two teams, I mean, the numbers are ridiculous. Two best teams in the league. You've got the best defense in OKC, the best offense in the Cavaliers, and the two hottest teams in the league right now. The Cavs are on a 10-game winning streak coming off of maybe their most impressive set of wins, coming off of a grueling 4-game Western Conference road trip, which I'm sure most of us didn't expect the Cavs to go undefeated on. So both teams are obviously playing great basketball right now, the two best teams in the league. Nick, let's start with you. What is something that you're going to be watching for with this Thunder-Cavs matchup?
I think the matchup inside, like how effective and how much of an impact can Jared Allen and Evan Mobley make with their size, because that's OKC's least strength. They're strong in almost everything, but their size is the one question mark, because they still don't have Chet. Yeah, I think it's going to be a lot to handle for Hartenstein. We've seen him take care of business in Cleveland with the Knicks past years. He kind of has owned Jared Allen. He's owned Jared Allen. So Jared Allen needs to, show up. And Evan Mobley's been having a great year, so I think he's going to be a huge X factor.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how the bigs will play for the Cavs in really all these matchups, because I feel like a lot has changed for, well, obviously the team. They've not been this good, in those previous years. But Mobley and Allen, they didn't have the confidence, and they weren't this good in those previous years. So we'll see how much that improvement can hold up against this Thunder team. Because if there is any advantage that the Cavaliers do have, it is Evan Mobley at this point, because the Thunder, they are big in the backcourt, which is something that we should definitely focus on and how that could be a detriment to the Cavaliers. But Evan Mobley's size in there against an otherwise kind of smaller front court with Dort and J-Dub, that's something that they should look to take advantage of.
100% agree. I'm looking for, like you said, it's the best defense versus the best offense. As a Cavs fan, I'm very looking forward to see how creative Kenny Atkinson in this offense and the ball movement is flowing, because of how good defensively the OKC is. They're going to be playing tight on you. All these guys are really good. We're going to need a lot of off-ball movement, off-ball screens, getting guys open, trying to get as many open threes. But when you have open threes, you got to knock them down. You really have to. Some of the guys have been pretty inconsistent. Like when you're watching OKC and they have those wide open threes, it's an automatic in. Some of the time with us, not always, but unless it's DG or Donovan Mitchell, it's always, or Sam Merrill, it's always in. But like you just got to knock all of them down. I'm very, very excited to just see if he does bring a lot more creativeness that maybe we haven't seen, or he hasn't pulled all his tricks out of his sleeve yet. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
I know your point was on the creative thing. The Cavs are first in 3-point percentage, just so you know.
I'm just saying. No, I know. I shoot a lot of threes too, though. I do. That's the thing. But like, I don't know. It's gonna be tough, because Boston, great 3-point shooting team. They didn't do it.
No, you got to make them. You're right.
It's going to be very tough.
Yeah, you definitely got to make them. And the Cavs also do a great job of getting inside as well. I mean, they lead the league in field goal percentage, 3-point percentage, and they just do a great job of generating the best shots possible. And that's why they lead the league in all these statistics, because they're so good at generating the best shots. But obviously OKC the best defense in the league, one of the best, I think maybe the best defense in the last 30 years statistically, which is just ridiculous. I'm super excited for this matchup. The Cavs do have a lot of size in the front court as well, because they'll probably start Dean Wade in that game. Cavs will be able to switch a lot. The Thunder are going to go at Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell a lot on that end of the floor as well. It's just, I'm excited to see the chess match between, also these two teams are coached by two of the best coaches in the league as well. Like everything in this matchup is just, it's just amazing. So I'm really excited.
From the Thunder's point of view, go ahead, Jax.
I'm just curious. I'm looking at two things. One, I wonder, you think they're going to put Dort on DG or Donovan?
I think
I feel like
Donovan.
I feel like it's a Donovan matchup too. Yeah. But I'm interested to see what version of Darius Garland we get, because last time when they first played the Celtics, he looked awful. I mean, he pretty much shot them out of that game.
He was mic'd up in that game. He had a little pregame interview, got his ego going. I think he just got in his own head.
Yeah, that was the worst game of his career for I think.
Yeah,
for sure.
100%. But you got to think, like, I feel like Dort is probably the most physical and best defender he's going to fit, because I feel like Dort's arguably the best perimeter defender in the league. So I feel like going up against him, is he going to like be able to match up physically on offense with that physicality from the defensive end? Yeah. And even then, like, if he tries to get switches, I mean, unless it's Hartenstein, really, J-Dub's been a fantastic defender this year. I mean, when he was running the 5 and stuff, it was fantastic. He was being regarded as like a decoy, like, type of player when he was doing that. And then we obviously have Dort, Shea, and I mean, who would be their fifth starter in this?
Wallace guard Garland, which will be a fun matchup there as well. I mean, that's the thing. When you talk about questions that you have about the Cavs versus the Thunder, a lot of them are very similar to the Cavs versus Boston. That's why I want to see a Thunder Celtics. Why I wanted to see that, a finals of that going into the season, because those two teams are just so similar. They have the size in the backcourt. The Cavs, I think the big thing with the Cavs offensively, I just think, is how they generate their threes and how Evan Mobley plays in this game. Because the thing with Boston, a lot of their offense is based off of Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum ISOs and then drives and kicks for threes. You don't see them running a whole lot of sets to actually get a whole lot of threes. The Cavs do that. So I'm excited to see how the Cavs will do that. And either way, we get to see this matchup basically twice in about a week span, because these two teams play in Oklahoma City next Thursday as well. That one is also national TV, TNT game. Do you guys have any final thoughts on this game?
Yes.
Yes.
The thing with the Thunder is about their defense. They're ranked first in almost every category, like points, assists given up. They force a crazy amount of steals. So Cleveland has to take care of the ball in this game. And from the Thunder's perspective, they're going to try and just muck it up. Like, they're going to have to convert on their opportunities off turnovers as well. That's going to be another big thing. And the one thing that I wanted to add was, like, their top one, they're like ranked number 1 through 3 in almost every single defensive category. They're ranked 29th in defensive rebounding and 27th in offensive rebounding. So they're going to need to crash the glass versus the Cavs. And I think that's going to be a big storyline to watch too.
Evan Mobley time.
Who's going to guard Shea? Like, just curious who's going to guard Shea.
Oh, Dean Wade. That's legit. Who it's going to be. He's one. I mean, he is one of the best perimeter defenders on the Cavaliers. That's why he's been starting. I think the stat is the Cavs are like 22-1 this year when Wade plays, which is ridiculous. He's like so important as the 5th starter. We'll see how
6'10".
Yeah, he's a legit 6'10" perimeter defender who's been knocking down his threes recently as well.
3-and-D guy. It's exactly who we needed last year in the playoffs.
Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. I'm just telling you right now.
Yeah, it's the MVP of the league. So we're gonna get Instagram stars. We're gonna get to see stars go at it in this game. I mean, I'm sure Donovan Mitchell's gonna be ready for this. He always plays really good in these big games as well. Just cannot wait for this one and to recap this one afterwards.
Yes, sir.
Moving on from, the high note of one of the highly anticipated games of the season to some drama, as over the last week, the Jimmy Butler trade saga has completely risen up to now we have a trade request. Jimmy Butler, after a couple games where he really didn't do a whole lot on either side of the floor, was benched for both fourth quarters that he played last week. Basically requested a trade in his post-game interview on Friday night. And then on, I believe, last Saturday, the Miami Heat suspended him for 7 games. Now, I gave my full thoughts on this on the recap episode last week that went full in depth on this, but that was before the suspension was announced. So, Joey, let's start with you. First, what has been your reaction to this whole entire situation? Maybe even going back to Pat Riley's comments from last season about Jimmy, all the way up to what we've got right now with him being suspended for 7 games.
I will always respect Jimmy Butler as a basketball player and how hard he works. But man digs his own grave when it comes to trying to build a team and trying to get them to win. He knows how to win and he has the ability to lead, but he does it in the complete opposite way that just becomes detrimental and just deteriorates a team's potential. It's very upsetting to watch. It's so sad. And my first reaction to all of this was laughter. I was laughing. I was in the kitchen at my work, and I was like, oh my gosh, in the first game of Jimmy Butler's suspension, the Heat lose to the Jazz. That's not even the funniest part. But they lose by 36 points.
It wasn't even close.
The Jazz are one of the worst teams in the league, and you lose to them by 36. That's not just a Jimmy problem. As much as the Heat want it to be a Jimmy Butler problem, I don't think it is. They need to get him out so then they can find and realize what the actual problem is.
Well, before you go, Jackson, I would like to add that could this all also be a thing this Jimmy Butler situation is a huge cloud over this team? This is a huge distraction, and that I think is also playing a part in their play.
100%. I agree with that, but 36 points to the Jazz, is it that big of a cloud?
Jackson, what do you think?
So I'm actually in a little bit different of a boat. I don't blame Jimmy at all, actually. I think when you look at the Heat the last couple of years, especially with how they've been portraying themselves, it's Heat culture, right? You watch and it's they even made it their city jersey. It's oh yeah, we're preaching this Heat culture, we're a family, we're a team.
I can't stand this argument.
Just wait, shut up.
He knew that going in when he got there.
No, but listen, Pat Riley has said multiple times in the last year or two, he's this is a championship level team. He has confidence in this team. But you have your confidence in this team, but you won't pay your best player what he's worth. Because I think Jimmy's worth what he wants.
And,
finals. He's the franchise player. He is. What?
He's 35.
So what?
You can't pay him that much money.
Well, so I will say, I think the Heat and Pat Riley and them saying that this is a championship or busting, this is false. This is
gaslighting.
Because of Jimmy Butler carrying the Heat in playoffs before. Look, 2 years ago when they made the finals, that was really not a championship level team, but because he has carried you to the finals, that makes it seem like that. Jimmy Butler is one of the best players in Heat franchise history for what he's done for that team. There's no question about it. 2 NBA finals, multiple All-Stars, All-NBA, and before Jimmy Butler got there, wasn't looking great for the Miami Heat. It was the Josh Richardson, Justice Winslow, Hassan Whiteside core. Before Jimmy Butler got there, this team was not anything special. He comes there, and they're immediately a contender-level team because of his play. So I feel like he deserves some of the respect from that. 100%. And it shouldn't be not on the contract thing, but I just don't like what Pat Riley did last season, saying, shut your mouth, blah, 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 and all that.
Yeah.
Because of what Jimmy Butler has done for your team.
What did Jimmy ask for contract-wise? Was it a 4-year max or was it like a 2-year max? He's like, if it's a 4-year max, I can understand. Like, but if it's like a 2-year max, you pay the man. I mean,
if I'm not
I don't care how much.
I think his mindset, I think the plan with him and his agent was that, next season he has like the $50 million player option. He's going to decline that option to restructure a deal for like 2 to 3 years to be his last paycheck.
Pay him. At that point, pay him. Especially another thing, like if you've watched the Starting Five show, last year in the playoffs when Jimmy kind of was like talking with Boston, like talking smack to Boston and stuff, he talked about it in the show. It wasn't necessarily like, hey, he's doing this to get in their head. He was also dealing with a ton, like personal, like I think right before that series started, his father passed away, and so it was kind of like a coping mechanism for him. He said, where like it helped him get through it. And for Pat Riley to kind of go out and say that, I mean, even if Pat Riley didn't know, still to go out and say that, I mean, it's just the man literally has probably doubled Pat Riley's net worth. If you think about it.
Let's not get carried away.
Yes.
Do you know who Pat Riley is?
No, it's a joke. It's a joke.
Well, yes, we know. Yes, Pat Riley has also. This has happened. Something similar to this happened with all Heat star player exits. Dwayne Wade, LeBron James, now Jimmy Butler. 3 of the best players in your franchise history. You could make the case this is the 3 of the top 5 Heat players in franchise history. And all of the exits have been negative. Obviously, Dwayne Wade comes back and it's all cool. But I don't know if that says anything more about Pat Riley, the Heat franchise, or Jimmy Butler, this being the 4th time that in his career that something like this has happened. But regardless of all of that, of maybe what Pat Riley should have done, what Jimmy Butler should have done, what's happened has happened. And Jimmy Butler is going to get traded from the Miami Heat is what's going to happen. Nick, what do you think about the potential options that Jimmy Butler could get traded to? I guess first, do you think that we'll see this trade this season before the deadline, or could this be something that's kind of a drawn out process?
I low-key think it's going to be drawn out until the summer. I don't think as much as the Heat should get rid of him, and I really hope they do, because I think it's just they've overstayed their welcome in both. It's just how it's gone with like the whole Heat culture. They're a culture of winning. They've always wanted to compete and stuff, but I think their time is done. Let Jimmy go to an actual contender and help them. But I don't think it'll happen this season. I think it'll be a season of mediocrity for Miami for the rest of the year. And this will, for the rest of the season, this will be the cloud hanging over their head. And it's going to ruin the rest of their season, and it's going to suck.
I am going to disagree. I don't think it happens right away. Like, and I'm talking like this week. I think it probably happens. I think it's early. Obviously as early as maybe this week, but I think it's going to happen January 15th, because that's the day where a lot of the people who got contracts this offseason and stuff can get traded, I believe, right?
Also, the final day that Jimmy Butler is suspended, the final game that he's suspended. Isn't that funny how that was played?
It's ironic.
Yeah, so I think it's going to happen then. I think, honestly, the Heat suspending him and doing all this extracurricular stuff gives them absolutely zero leverage in a deal. I think it's poorly played out by them right now. Obviously, you're still trading Jimmy Butler, so he's going to give you a pretty decent return. But I think every day that you don't trade him, his value goes down slightly. At least, yeah. I mean, so
suspending him, I wish that they were just. I mean, it's basically what they did. I wish they just were like, all right, just go home, be away from the team, blah, blah, blah. But they come out saying suspending, which is different from other situations. Like we've seen players just get sent home or whatever, just so we can get a deal done. No, we're suspending you. It's the same thing that's happening, but it sounds a lot worse in this situation.
Yeah,
that's making value worse.
And I think, I mean, obviously, as a team who is a fan of a team who's in the sweepstakes, I'm like, cool, suspend him, keep him out for as long as you can, because his value is gonna, like, it's gonna get easier for these other teams. But at the same time, it's like, come on, just like Jimmy literally saved your franchise. Like, either trade the man or just, I don't even know, just let the man be free. Honestly, I don't know.
Free Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, it is.
It's gonna be something that's like, I think the January 15th thing makes sense because that's the contract date and he gets off suspension. But I don't think that you can really predict like when. I think it's just going to be kind of like drop the ball because, when like you watch a good movie and you're like, I wish they made a remake, and then they do, and then they make a third one. That's called a trilogy. We're on the 4th installment of some TV show that should have never even got picked up in the first place. So the level of unpredictability is sky high right now. And the other thing I wanted to point out is that Pat Riley has more rings than LeBron, D-Wade, and Jimmy combined.
Thank you. I will not tolerate.
It's tied. They both have. LeBron's got 5. Or no. He does have more. He does have more.
I was gonna say I will not tolerate any Pat Riley or Eric Spoelstra slander because the Heat culture is a real thing. Everybody know it's been a thing since the early 2000s, and it's been going on for the last 20 years. Regardless if they had problems before Jimmy Butler and then they fixed it, and then now they're having problems again. When Jimmy Butler leaves, they may have another couple rough years, and everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, maybe it's time to get rid of Riley and Spo." Maybe Riley does go because he is getting up in age, but I'm telling you, they're going to be right back. This Heat culture thing, it's not a dying thing. It's going to be revamped in another year or two. It's just going to suck.
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
What I'm saying is, like, they preach Heat culture. They preach that they're like a family. They preach that, like,
they preach winning, not family. They preach winning.
Okay, and then why don't you treat Jimmy, who is the only reason you've won anything,
deliberately going out there and trying not to win?
Because of the comments that Pat Riley made.
Because of the comments, I mean, it's Pat Riley.
That's fair.
I mean,
not saying they didn't handle it poorly. Like I will not tolerate their slander, but Pat Riley has handled it poorly. But they know winning. I'm not going to knock them until it doesn't work. Like they went to the finals twice with Jimmy Butler. Regardless of how it's played out now, they did it, and that is a part of the Heat culture. They are contenders almost all the time when everyone's on the same page. Just right now, they are not on the same page. And until Jimmy Butler is out there, is out of Miami, they're not going to be on the same page.
And even then, there's still somehow, like we were talking in the pre-pod lobby about how weird the standings are. Like in the Eastern Conference, the Miami Heat are 17-16, currently tied for the 5th seed with the Milwaukee Bucks. Like they're still not in a horrible position. And who knows? We've seen stranger things happen. Maybe the Heat don't trade Jimmy Butler. Maybe they can't find a suitor, so they bring him back to the team and he keeps playing to raise his value. Who knows?
Houston.
I think that there are 2 teams that are primed to make this move.
Rockets.
I've talked about the Rockets for the whole season, about the Rockets being a great spot for them. But because trades out of left field trades always happen, my runner-up is the Memphis Grizzlies.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's
because Memphis.
I think it'll be Golden State. It'll be one of those 3 teams because I think Golden State's also up there.
Yeah,
I saw today. I saw a report today. I think the 2 teams that I saw that were heavily going into it right now are the Warriors and actually the Bucks. I've seen reports that the Bucks are now in
if they
on
do
it.
like a Middleton trade or something, that'd be funny.
The Bucks don't have anything.
Yeah, they don't have anything to trade.
But the Heat don't have leverage, so I mean, it works out for them.
That actually does make sense.
Saying every day the Heat have less leverage in this situation.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no question about it. Let us know in the comments what you think about this whole situation. This has just been crazy. Next time we get more information or a new thing about this, we'll definitely be talking about it on here. Some more drama, or I guess not really drama, but another disappointing team, the Phoenix Suns, after a great start to the season, have lost their last 4 games. They're now 15-18, 12th in the Western Conference. And actually starting, last night as this video gets released against the Philadelphia 76ers, Coach Mike Budenholzer is making a change to his starting lineup, moving veterans Bradley Beal and Yusuf Nurkic to the second unit. They're going to move Ryan Dunn and Mason Plumlee to the starting lineup. We'll see how that goes here tonight against the Sixers. But I think this is certainly a change that needed to happen. I mean, Jackson, you and I were literally predicting that Bradley Beal would need to come off the bench when this started to fail. We predicted that this would happen like 4 or 5 months ago, and now it's finally going to happen.
4 or 5 months ago. That's why my prediction looks stupid now, because Budenholzer's an idiot. But it's okay, because
of the year.
They need to keep losing. So Devin Booker gets traded.
Yeah, this Rockets fan is hoping that Devin Booker is eventually on his team somehow. But man, I know there's not really a whole lot to say on this besides like we'll just have to see how the adjustments really work. Because who knows? Maybe we'll see the Suns get blown up at the deadline or at the end of the season. We'll see what happens because there have been some crazy things going on. But I will say I dove deeper into the numbers on the Durant, Beal, and Booker big three for this being year 2. The numbers are crazy bad as far as net rating with those three on the floor together. I went and looked at every single team's 3 best players and their net rating when they're on the floor together. And the big three of Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, and Kevin Durant has the 3rd worst net rating of any big three, quote unquote, in the entire NBA, which is terrible. That's ridiculous.
Aren't they Barrett, Grady Dick, and Jakob PERTL best trio in the league?
Better than Durant, Beal, and Booker, apparently.
That's ridiculous. Like they're a minus 7.3 points per 100 possessions when those 3 are on the court, and that's just unfathomable. And it's
you guys had them as 2 seed, 5 seed, 2 seed.
I was gonna say, Nick, your prediction is looking real good.
Watch. After
I got dragged through the freaking mud for putting them 10 and they're 12th.
No, listen to me here. Okay? If they start to ball out after this change, I don't care what anyone says. If they
look like geniuses if this happens.
That's what I'm saying. Because I said they'd be the 2 seed because I thought they were gonna trade or not trade. But
there's no change in lineup that would have them 10 positions higher in the standings. I'm telling you that right now.
I'm not saying they're gonna jump all the way to 2.
That's the argument you're making right now.
I'm saying they can move up to like 7 or 6. Well, I said if they move up to like 7 or 6, it's gonna make me look way smarter. Because that shows that they got a lot better, especially in the West. Stop playing.
Where did I? Oh yeah, I guess I did have the Suns number 5, and I still believe in the Suns. But the question is, are they really the Phoenix? Are they Phoenix Duns? Are they done?
Phoenix bums,
whatever you call them.
Phoenix buns.
Yeah,
they're terrible.
Then a couple final news things around the league. Shout out to the Sacramento Kings. We mentioned it quickly before, but on a 4-game winning streak. Doug Christie's been running the offense a little bit differently, running some things from the elbows instead of just at the top of the key, and that's opened some things up for them offensively. DeRozan's been getting it going, and impressive wins against the Mavs, Sixers, Grizzlies, and at Golden State beat them by 30. Now the Suns prediction starting to go Knicks' way. This Warriors prediction might be going Jackson and my way.
Right.
With how they've been playing. They're both on the same tier right now. But just shout out to the Kings and Doug Christie for starting to get it going there.
My Warriors were 9th, and that's where they're at.
Yeah, they're right. They're right there.
Not important.
Blood, don't worry. They'll be 12 sooner or later.
They're D-Town, baby.
Shout out to Dallas.
Shout out Dallas.
Shout out to Dallas. And then final bit of news story. Found out a couple days ago that the Chicago Bulls are going to retire Derrick Rose's number 1 jersey next season. Last Friday, it was Derrick Rose night in Chicago. That was super cool to see all the warm-up shirts, the reception, all those former Bulls players be there in attendance to be with Derrick Rose during that game. But I thought when they announced Derrick Rose night that this was all they were going to do for him, and this was going to be like the kind of jersey retirement thing, just not retiring his jersey. But they're going to retire his jersey next season, and that is awesome and totally well deserved.
Yeah.
How many seasons did he play there?
8. 2008 to 2016, I want to say.
Youngest MVP ever.
That speech he gave was really good too. So his son was crying and stuff.
He was crying after the speech Joakim Noah said.
Yeah, I mean those were definitely special teams for sure. I
Don't
mean,
care. I hate Joakim Noah. That dude's a loser. He hates Cleveland. I hate that guy.
I'm very
Hates
torn
my-
between him because he won us a couple championships in Florida, but he dogged on my city. So
Yeah, you don't dog on my city.
yeah, that's a big no.
You're talking about the Browns.
I still like Joakim Noah. Cleveland. I mean, what did he say about Cleveland that was not true?
I mean, honestly, yeah. Who would go on vacation to Cleveland?
I would.
That was the
totally
biggest. That was the worst thing he said, and it's like factual.
It's kind of factual, and especially at the time, that would have been
at the time. Yes,
there have been, but that's besides the point. Either way, congratulations to DRose. Jersey retired. Heck of an accomplishment for DRose.
The Windy City Assassin.
Windy City Assassin. It was also cool. Final thing on that is for the Knicks Bulls, for the Chicago broadcast of that game, they brought back the old play-by-play announcer Neil Funk, the guy who did it when they were doing. So it was cool to have the OG broadcasting crew.
That's
back
awesome.
My favorite thing was his comment about the statue.
DRose's comment about the statue.
Disinviewed statue, basically.
Dude, this is what I'll say. Look, the Dwayne Wade statue, it does not look like Dwayne Wade, but that outlier of a statue should not stop statues from being things in the future.
I don't know, dude. The Kobe one they made too, they messed it up a couple times.
At least they didn't mess up the face. They just messed up
stats. The one before that was the miniature AI.
That was Iverson.
Like kind of a bad streak we got going.
That is true. It's got to get broken at some point.
Do you guys remember the Cristiano Ronaldo statue from years ago?
Soccer, here we go.
I'm just saying, Ronaldo's statue was terrible.
Nobody watches soccer. It's a basketball podcast.
Stop it.
It's only the most popular sport in the world.
You better be ready.
All right. Back to the basketball. Final thing before we get out of here. We're going to do Guess the Stat Line, something that we did a few times last season. We really haven't had a chance to really do any crazy games or anything this season, but we're going to do it here. Guess the Stat Line. I've got 3 season averages for each of these guys with 3 multiple choice options for the stat line. We're going to go Jackson first, then Joey, then Nick. And what I'm thinking is I'm going to read the stat line. It'll just be players' points, rebounds, and assists average on the season. If you can guess the player before I give the multiple choice options, you get 2 points. You get 2 points, and then if you get it with the multiple choice, you get 1 point. And we'll see who wins.
Question: so if we guess the player before, is that take away our turn, or can we still hear the multiple choice? Just throw one.
You still get the multiple choice unless we want to do it like that. How do we want to do it?
I
don't know. That's a good.
I feel like we should be able to re-guess just because I don't know.
It's hard.
I feel like we shouldn't.
Okay, Joey.
If you're gonna guess without getting the multiple choice, then you got to be sure that you got the right thing.
All right, that's what we're doing.
Game. Let's go.
I'm with that.
That's what we're doing. Right. Jackson, first stat line. We've got 30 points, 5 rebounds, and 7 assists.
Do I have to give a year? Do I get like?
It's this year. It's current.
It's this season's averages. 30 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists. Do you want to guess the player before, or do you want me to give you the options?
I feel it. That sounds like Tatum right now.
Guess Tatum. You should guess Tatum.
Do it.
I'm not going to. Shut up.
Do it. You won't.
Yeah, 30 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists per game.
I feel like this is a layup. And that layup's name is Shea.
Wrong.
Incorrect. He was one of the multiple choice options, but that is incorrect. Let's see. So how do we want to do this? So we'll go to Joey. Joey, do you want to guess before, or do you want me to give you the?
I want to hear the multiple choice. Or at least the other 2 options.
I know who it is right now. Let me guess.
Do you want Nick? Do you want to guess?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I know who it is.
All right, guess.
It's LaMelo.
It is LaMelo Ball.
Hey.
There's like 2 people averaging 30, and it's him and Giannis.
Those were the options.
Yeah, 30.
The options were Shea, LaMelo, and De'Aaron Fox.
I got 2, boy. Let's go.
All right.
Nice.
So who technically goes next? That was Jackson.
Joey, right?
So who goes? Joey?
Yeah.
Joey. All right.
Oh, you made
This player Let's see. We'll go.
You can go back to Jackson after this.
No, go to Nick. It's how it works.
Yeah, that's how it works. All right. This player is averaging 23.5 points, 3 rebounds, and 2.5 assists.
Bro, what? Oh. I think I know who this is.
I have no.
Do you want your multiple choice? All right.
I think I know who this is. Wait. Oh.
All right. 23.5 points, 3 rebounds, 2.5 assists. Is it Cam Thomas, Norman Powell, or CJ McCollum?
I feel like I want to guess Cam Thomas because he's on my fantasy team, and but if I'm wrong, then it makes me a terrible fantasy owner.
You're already a terrible fantasy owner. It's okay.
Yeah, I am. But I did beat you last week, Nick. Just saying.
Oh,
Gotta take
I
that.
know who it is.
I'll go Cam Thomas.
Incorrect.
Yeah.
Incorrect. Are we doing steals? Does anyone want to steal?
My turn.
Oh yeah, Nick.
I was gonna guess someone else. But I'm pretty sure this is Norm Powell.
Norman Powell.
My other guess was MPJ.
So Nick's got 3.
There's
He
no
doesn't
way
score that
MPJ averages that many points.
He's good,
Yeah.
but he's not that good.
All right, so Nick's got 3. And Nick's turn.
Yeah.
Is that how we're doing this? All right, Nick.
Rolling away
Dominating
with
right
this.
now.
Nick got to a blazing hot start right now. All right, this player averaging 20.5 points, 2.5 rebounds, and 6.5 assists. 20.5 points, 2.5 rebounds, 6.5 assists.
You can give me the options.
Options are Darius Garland, Jordan Poole, and Kobe White.
What was the stat line again? 23.5?
20.5 points, 2.5 rebounds, 6.5 assists.
I think Garland's averaging more than 20.5. It was Kobe White and Jordan Poole.
Yes,
Oh
Garland.
my God. I don't think Kobe White's averaging that many points. But I do think I don't want to guess Jordan Poole either, though.
There's no way Jordan Poole averages that many assists, though.
I think he might.
He a passer.
But I'm not. I'm less confident that Derek. I'm gonna go with Garland.
Garland is right. Garland is correct. Nick.
I thought he was averaging 22 or 23.
Nick at 4.
You're kidding me, man. Come on.
Nick 4, Jackson 0, Joey 0. All right, but we're back at Jackson. Chance to get back on the board. All right, Jackson. This player is averaging 20 points, 4 rebounds, 1.5 assists.
All right, well, that's obviously MPJ.
Is that your guess?
Wait. Who else averages? Let me think.
I'm thinking a Knicks player.
No, MPJ averages more rebounds. Wait. Yeah, he definitely averages more than 4.
Yeah, and 20 points, 4 rebounds, 1.5 assists.
Is it like 20 on the dot, or is it like a 20-point something?
It's
That would make a difference.
No, I'm just saying. Like,
it's 19.8.
Oh, I got it.
can I get some splits or no?
No.
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 As for the multiple choice.
Ask for the options.
You don't
Freaking
get
loser.
split.
No,
Or lose your turn and guess somebody.
Do you
All right,
want
Miles, tell me the options. If this guy's one of the options, I'm gonna freak out because I have a guy.
Then guess him.
Jackson, do you want the multiple choice?
Is it? I'm just gonna go in shot and dark. Is it Trey Murphy?
Incorrect.
Take peer pressure, man. That's not fair. That's not okay.
It's peer pressure. Joey, do you want to try a guess or you want the multiple choice?
Oh, there's no way I'm guessing if he's. I want the multiple choice.
All right. 20 points, 4 rebounds, 1.5 assists. Is it Michael Porter Jr., Grady Dick, or DeAndre Hunter?
Oh,
That's a good options.
That is some good options.
Stupid.
20 points, 4 rebounds, 1.5 assists.
If it gets back to me, can I re-steal?
I feel like Grady Dick should have more assists. That's kind of disappointing if he only has 1.5 assists.
I think it's not him.
I'm gonna go MPJ then.
Incorrect.
My turn.
Nick, Grady Dick, DeAndre Hunter. for 20
Grady
points,
Dick. Grady
4
Dick.
rebounds, 1 assist.
It's
Incorrect.
DeAndre Hunter.
Damn it.
Give me a point. Give me a point.
No one
Give me a
gets
point.
a point.
Miles gets a point this time.
Let's go. I get a point. Wow.
I think I
Miles threw a
actually get a point.
change up because he's got Grady Dick on his fantasy team and is a huge fan of him.
I knew the second he said who the 3 people were. I'm like, oh, it's DeAndre Hunter. I'm sorry.
But my theory for Grady Dick not having assists is that it's his first year in the league. He's trying to make a name for himself.
He's only averaging like
Or
17.
second year. Still a young,
oops.
young player.
So wait, who's the other option?
DeAndre Hunter, Grady Dick,
Do I get a
MPJ.
point for that? Came back to
No.
me and I got it right.
No, Miles gets the point because nobody got it right.
All right, Joey's turn for this now. We get 12.5 points, 2.5 rebounds, and 5 assists.
Who the junk is this?
12.5 points. We'll say 3 rebounds and 5 assists. We'll round up.
I have a guess.
I do too.
Dang. I'm really liking.
Just go for the options then.
All right, options, please.
Options. 12.5 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists. Is it D'Angelo Russell, Russell Westbrook, or Tyus Jones?
My guy's up there. Frick me, man. Joey, you gotta get this right, so it doesn't go to Nick and he has a layup.
I don't know, man. I've been really I've been really lacking on my NBA knowledge lately. I'll go Russ.
Russell Westbrook.
No,
Incorrect.
Yep.
Incorrect.
Dang.
That's the worst pick you could have ever
D'Lo.
made.
D'Lo is correct. D'Angelo Russell. Nick with 5
Oh, I
points.
told you. Joey, Westbrook averages more than like 3 rebounds, man.
I don't know. I don't know if he averages 10 minutes or 2 minutes.
Oh, jeez. All right. So now it's back on Nick with the 5-0-0-1 lead.
I was feeding him freebies, man. He's feeding him freebies.
All right, Nick. This player, great player, averages 9 points, 2 rebounds, and 2 assists.
Options.
Your options are Julian Strawther, Gary Trent Jr., or Kentavious Caldwell Pope.
Oh, KCP is not having a good year. That might be him.
It's clearly Dylan Brooks.
The first one was Julian Strawther.
Yep.
I don't think he's averaging 9 points.
9 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists.
He's their best bench
Strawther.
Strawther,
And,
Gary Trent Jr., and KCP.
I'll go KCP.
KCP's right. He's blowing out the
easy.
competition right here.
That's so easy, man.
All right. Well, let's see. Jackson, back to you.
I see these next questions cost 10 points. If me and
Why did we
Guy
wait
get
so
it.
long to play this game again? We should have played this every week.
We're halfway through, so there's still a chance here. There's
Read
still
me
a
the
chance.
stat line, will ya?
All right, Jackson. This player, 22 points, 6 rebounds, and 2 assists.
Holy crap! Wait, I think I already guessed this guy.
22 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists.
Is it like 29 point or 21.8 something?
No.
I know. Did you put someone I already guessed? Is it? I'm gonna guess him again. Is it Trey Murphy?
No. Incorrect.
What? Dude, if it's not Trey Murphy, who is it? It's got to be like, I don't even know, man.
I did not expect you to say that.
That either. All right, Joey,
looking up
back
Trey
on you.
Murphy's
22
numbers
points,
right now.
6
If it's the
rebounds,
same
2
thing,
assists. Do you want the multiple choice option?
Yes, of course. I'm always going to ask for the options.
All right. 22,
Are you sure you don't want to guess Trey Murphy?
22, 6, and 2. Is this Lauri Markkanen, Jaren Jackson Jr., or Pascal Siakam? 22 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists.
It's not Lowry. He sucks.
We'll go Siakam.
Nice guess.
Incorrect.
Rockets
Incorrect.
favorite.
Back to Nick again.
Here we go.
I have 2 people to guess. It's either Jaren or
Markkanen.
I got them both on my fantasy team.
For 20.
You have all 3 of these guys on your fantasy team.
Oh yeah, I do.
For
Are we sure it's not Jalen Johnson?
Please.
22, 6, and 2.
Yep.
I honestly think Jaren has more assists than that. I'll go Lauri.
Incorrect. I get another point. It was Jaren Jackson
That was
Jr.
a layup.
Oh, but
Should've
instead you
asked me.
get Trey Murphy.
It was a layup. Trey Murphy.
Trey Murphy's at
Those are-
21, 5, and 2. I don't want to hear it. It's basically
Yeah,
the
that was
same
pretty close. I
number.
gotta say.
Yeah.
All right. So whose turn is it now? Is this technically Joey's?
Yeah.
Just boys, man.
Joey. All right. 15.5 points, 11 rebounds, and 2.5 assists.
I know who this is.
You said that for everyone.
This time I'm confident.
Oh my gosh. Is this Jared Allen?
Oh, he's one of the options, but he's not correct. That was
Oh dang! I was like, this might. I had a. Oh.
I would like the stat line and the other two options, please.
You would all right. 15.5 points, 11 rebounds, and 2.5 assists. Is this Jakob PERTL or Zubats?
Oh, damn.
Oh, those are good options.
I don't even get a guess now because he guessed one of the 3 people.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So stupid. Oh.
I'll go Zoo.
No, it was PERTL.
Oh, that's a layup. Clearly up.
It's a layup.
Miles,
but-
can you start picking the guys who are on your fantasy team so it's easier for me?
I don't know what to tell you. All right, well, Nick, it's still your turn. So Nick can take another commanding lead here to completely.
I'll guess somebody regardless.
All right,
I'm
this player averaging 25 points, 5.5 rebounds, and 4 assists.
James Harden.
James Harden, no, incorrect.
What?
Jackson. Would you like to get multiple choice or do you want to guess? 25 points, 5.5 rebounds, 4 assists.
Give me the multiple choice, please.
All right, your options are Anthony Edwards, Jaylen Brown, and Franz Wagner.
Dude, what the heck? How am I meant to guess this?
25 points, 5.5 rebounds,
I was
4
actually thinking of one of these options. Glad I didn't say it.
Oh, if I could get splits, that would help, but it's okay.
If I could get splits, oh my gosh.
All right, fine. Next time we'll do splits then.
I swear if Trey Murphy was an option, I would have picked him by now.
So, Ant. It said Ant. Who else?
Jaylen Brown and
Franz
Franz Wagner.
Yep.
Man, I'm just gonna go Ant Edwards because he's my guy.
You got it. You got it. Jackson is on the board.
I needed that, man.
We need like a sound
Oh, and
effect
it's
for
my
that.
turn. And it's my turn.
And it's
It
your
is.
turn. All right, Jackson. Three more to go.
Please give me a layup.
All right. This player is averaging 12 points, 7 rebounds, and 2 assists.
Okay. See, what is this?
It's Trey Murphy. What do you mean?
Shut up. It's not Trey Murphy.
12
Obviously,
points,
Trey
7 rebounds, 2 assists.
Wait, surely he's got more assists than that, right?
Let me help you out, brother. Ask for the options.
No.
I
wanna
guarantee
guess
you're
this
not going to get a 12-7 guy off the top of your head.
unless it's a Houston Rocket.
Unless he had the splits.
Let's
If
see.
he was a Houston Rocket, then say it.
Fine. It's Amen Thompson.
It is Amen Thompson. He got it. He got it.
I had to walk him there.
Dude, I was
You
You didn't have to
hoping.
walk the spot, boy.
Dude, I was hoping you would get that because the other options were Jabari Smith.
I know it's not
PJ
him. He's averaging
Washington.
like 9. He sucks.
It's actually very close. They're very close together, but Jackson with the huge points
I was
there.
thinking-
Now it's
I was
3.
like, Amen's. I thought Amen was averaging like 4 or 5 assists, but then I'm like, no, he's only averaging like 2. He's kind of.
Yeah.
So what's the score? Jackson has 3. I got 6. You got 2.
I have 3. I have 3, and then Joey's got 0.
There's 0.
Dang, Joey, you stink, bro.
All right,
Yeah.
but
Jackson, you got to guess the last 2.
But
without-
it's back to Joey. It's back to
Oh.
Joey. Or wait, how do we want to do this? Because do we
No,
want?
you can go between them two now because it's only between them two.
No, it's only between. Okay. So who?
All right.
All right. This
It's
player.
my turn. Jackson just went.
Yeah, next turn. All right. This player is averaging 6 points, 6 rebounds, and 7 assists.
I know exactly who this is. No, I don't.
Options.
Wait, yes, I do.
Options.
I know.
Do we let Jackson get a chance?
Yeah, I think.
Jackson.
I know because he's my favorite player, Ben Simmons.
Ben Simmons is
Dang it.
correct.
That was easy. The comeback of the century.
I'm so glad I bowed out of this. I would never guess him in a million years. I forgot he was still in the NBA.
Dude,
All right,
we know.
Joey, I had your name next to this question.
Ben Simmons.
And the other options were Lonzo and Draymond, so it's all pretty
They
close.
suck. Ben Simmons is better.
All right, so Jackson miraculously now has 5. Nick with 6. Final player.
Wait.
Yeah, Jackson would need to guess this before the
It's
multiple
my
choice
turn
begin.
too, isn't it?
This would be a crazy. This is a tough one. All right, 9 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists.
That's literally every player in the league, but okay.
Yeah.
Not Ben Simmons.
I do not have a guess.
That's a lot of role players.
Jackson, if you guess though, you can't get your point.
I can give you both the conference if you guys both want. I don't know if that matters.
I have a player in mind.
Okay, this is an Eastern Conference player.
It's not my player. Okay.
For 9 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists.
I'm gonna look at the divisions just to think really quick.
Jackson's going for the win.
Apparently.
I have to.
He has to. This will be the greatest comeback in history. It could still tie, and if that's the case,
why don't you just go for the tie?
You said 9, 4, and 2.
Yeah.
Ask for the options, go for the tie.
Yes, and then you'll do a sudden death, whoever says it first.
Shut up.
Yeah, if not, I'll come up with one last one.
I have a question. Who were the 3 that you asked for the KCP one? It was KCP, Gary Trent, and who?
Julian Strother.
So it's not him because it is Gary Trent Jr.
No, incorrect.
Why would he do that? Why would he have done that?
I don't know why he would just go for the win.
After I finished you, you need to win. It's okay.
I want to hear the options.
All right,
9, 4, and 2.
Options:
I already lost. But
Tristan Da Silva, Jalen Smith, and George Niang.
I'll go with Da Silva.
Da Silva's right. Nick finishes it off with the.
I wasn't gonna guess that flat out. I probably wouldn't even. I would have probably went Niang, honestly.
But there you go, Nick, the winner of Guess the Stat Line. Congratulations.
I almost did it. It's okay.
Jackson with a good comeback, solid comeback, but not enough.
I'll get 1 point next time, I promise.
Yeah, we'll do another game in the future. Let us know the score that you guys got on that one if you listen. But that is it for this episode. You guys got anything else before we get out of here?
WWE, Jackson, right?
In 16 minutes, I'm excited.
Sir.
John Cena's back. The Rock's back. I'm gonna faint. Log into your Netflix right now and watch it.
I will watch it. Don't worry.
Everyone out there, enjoy the WWE and the Thunder Cavs on Wednesday night. That should be both great events coming up this week.
Go Bucks.
Yeah, and Ohio State this Friday for sure. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe for more NBA content. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and we'll catch you in the next one.
Peace.